Yeah, it almost looks like there's like 5 screens in one or something.
No, that's not 5 screens. It's weird.
Yeah, there was 5 screens.
Okay, well, I'm gonna fix it right now. 5 screens in one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's 5 of you.
Huh?
Yeah, like, you should have seen when you sat down, there was 3 shadows behind you.
Type is 3.
Whoa, that is weird, isn't it?
True.
Here, I'm gonna stop the video on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this Zoom, and maybe it'll be a little better. I'm not gonna be able to talk to you much. Well, I can't get out of this Zoom. Hold on. I'm gonna go get out of this. I gotta get this written down. This is confusing.
There's literally 5 of you.
Those have.
I'm happy I'm here.
Okay, is that any better?
That's pretty cool.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, I think I had too many Zooms going on at once, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can hear me.
Okay, cool. Okay, now we're going to start talking about the last 2 things on our note sheet, and that's going to be the jet stream, and that's going to be the Gulf Stream. And I've saved these for kind of the last thing. The last things we're going to do is El Nino and La Nina, because you need to know all this back information that I've given you. But these 2 things are really important too, and they're a little bit confusing. So we're going to talk about them really, ad nauseum the next 2 or 3 days. So the jet stream and the Gulf Stream. Naomi, I want you to answer for me. What do you think the jet stream is? I'm going to cover it up. What do you think the jet stream is? And I mean, if you get it wrong, it's fine. Just take a stab in the dark at it, girl. Naomi Lopez Alvarado. What do you think the jet stream could be, girl? Oh, you disappeared on me. Yasmin, go ahead, sweet pea.
A river in the sky?
Yeah, it's a river in the sky. Did you see the PowerPoint? We're going to talk about it in just a minute. It's basically a river of air in the sky, okay? I know all of us think about rivers as being water, and that is true. That's how rivers got their name. But these jet streams are going to be rivers of air in the sky, and they have a very specific job. Their job is to block cold air and hot air, okay? So if you could imagine a gigantic river of air in the sky, on one side is cold air, on the other side is hot air. And the jet stream influences our weather a great deal. And I'm going to try to explain to you how. Now listen, the jet stream is something that is a very dynamic thing. And I know you guys might not understand what dynamic means. It's not static. Static means it stays the same all the time. Dynamic means it's constantly moving. Okay, it's kind of like somebody who's always drinking a ton of caffeine and they can't sit down. The jet stream is in constant flux. It's always going up and down, trapping air here and there. And it basically makes the seasons for us in a lot of ways, okay? So, real quickly, oopsie. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So this right here is going to be a jet stream, okay? And as you can see, we've got the entire United States. We've got Mexico down here. There's Cuba. There's Florida. And we have the purple line is representing the jet stream, okay? So this right here is the jet stream. And this is a wintertime jet stream probably. Maybe fall, somewhere around in there. And the only reason I say that is because if you look at our area, we're underneath a big old H. And high pressures always mean what type of weather? Anybody? Yeah, hot, nice. We're generally under high pressure all summer long. It's a high pressure area. And we've got a lot of warm air. Okay, and you can tell because what color is that area? It's yellow. All right, a lot of sunshine. And then along this purple line right here, what do you see a lot of around this purple line?
Snow.
Yes, snow, rain, ice. This is the boundary of the jet stream. And what have I told you? Aurelia, I'm going to ask you, what have I told all of you guys that hot air and cold air do all the time?
Fight over a certain.
They fight. They fight. They fight for position of things. They push each other out of the way. It's kind of like you and your brother or your sister if y'all don't get along, you know? You push each other around. You're always trying to move each other out of the way. And that's what jet streams kind of do is they're kind of like just moving all the time. They're changing our weather. So I know this is like a fall type jet stream because if you look at it and you see how far down it goes, what it's allowing the cold air to do is all this cold air from the north is able to filter down all the way into Baja, Mexico, which is a very rare thing. They don't get a lot of snow in this area. It's a desert. All the while, look at where this purple line goes and what's allowing this to come up with all this hot air. So all this warm air is coming up and stopping right at that purple line. And that's what the jet stream does, is it's going to block your air, okay, all the time. Now, let's go to this next one. There are 2 jet streams in the northern hemisphere, and there's 2 in the southern, okay? Now, you got the polar jet and you got the subtropical jet. We're only going to learn one of them because we don't need to know both of them. We just need to know the basics of one. This right here is a picture taken by NASA of the jet stream, and it's a really rare picture, they say. They said that you don't really get to see the jet stream much because it's never cloudy on it, but this time it is. They got a really rare shot at it. So you can see it just looks like a band of clouds, but it's pretty straight. All right, so it is definitely a stream of air. Now, these next ones, now this is a wintertime jet stream. Kind of similar to the last one we saw, but this dip is taking a lot different of a turn. The dip last time was way over here. Now look at where the dip is in this purple line, okay? Look at our area. That's where we live. What's all over us? Snow. So all this freezing cold air is dumping down here. It's stopping right here. And then look right here where the jet is. It's allowing all this warm air from the Gulf of Mexico and the equator to come fill in this area. And this is the blocking wall. Okay? That's where all the action is going to take place. Because like I told you, wherever there's warm air and cold air colliding, like right here along this jet stream, there's always going to be something happening, some sort of weather, okay? Now, here is a picture, and this right here, I hope this works. That right there, so that red spot right there is the top of the world, okay? Do y'all see that red spot?
Yes.
So this is a picture taken from really high in the atmosphere up in space. And they have got a picture of the jet stream that goes all the way around the Arctic Circle, okay? That's the jet stream. And what does it look like it's got in it? All those reds and greens and yellows, that is precipitation. Whether it be snow, rain, hail, sleet, whatever it is, that is precipitation falling. So you can see this jet, wherever it is, it's going to cause a lot of weather to happen because you got the hot and the cold air on either side. Pretty cool, actually. Here's another jet. Now look at this jet stream. If I were to look at this jet stream, and I want you to get your whiteboard out, and I want you to look at this, and here's the jet, okay? It's even labeled for you, jet stream, jet stream, jet stream. What type of air is over us in this particular jet stream? What type of air? Write it down on your whiteboard if you don't mind. Come on, Corina. Mucho trabajo en la clase. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Okay? I'll give you about 5 more seconds because it shouldn't be too tough because I've already got a line drawn from it. What you got, Eric? Opposite, man. Yellow's good, but it's going to be cold.
We got a few cold here.
Now listen, I know that you looked at the temperatures and you like equated yellow with warm, and that's a good idea. But on this one, it's a little different. Look at how far this thing's dumping down. So what's going to allow that to come down is air from the poles. So it's going to be cold right here. It says right here, hot dome. So you can see the jet stream goes all the way up there, and all this warm air from the equator is coming up here and stopping. And it can't get through right there. That's why it's going to be cold. And look at what's over us, a low pressure. It's probably not a good day for us. Probably not, okay? All right, there's the other jet stream. Here's another picture. All right, so we're going to go back and we're going to talk about a different kind of stream. All right, and this is called the Gulf Stream. Now, how many of you guys actually write down on your whiteboard if you know what the Gulf Stream is without looking at the slide?
No.
Yasmin, I'm sorry I covered it up. It's too late to look at the slide, honey. So tell me if you can tell me what the Gulf Stream is without looking at the slide. And I know some of you guys are going to say, hey, that's a breakfast eating place down at Carolina Beach, Gulf Stream Cafe. That's not quite right. All right, Eric, I'm glad you're being honest. Okay. Hold up your, Caleb, what do you think, man? What do you think the Gulf Stream could be? Caleb Jones. What you think, Caleb? Huh? All right, I got Genesis putting land.
Or Gulf of.
Okay, where have you ever heard of the word Gulf? Any of you guys ever heard the word Gulf?
Yeah.
What Gulf is right near us? The Gulf of Mexico. Okay, and that's where we've been having all those hurricanes. That's how the Gulf Stream got its name, is because it comes from the Gulf of Mexico. And we know that the Gulf of Mexico is a big, hot bath of steamy water. It's like a 90-degree pool of water, so it's extremely warm. Now, this is going to be something you're going to have to remember. The Gulf Stream is something that's been there since the beginning of Earth, probably. And we just now started figuring out. In fact, back in the late 1800s, someone discovered it. And he was a very, very, very famous man. He was never president. A lot of people think that he was president. Do y'all know that man's name? Write that man's name down. If you think you know, Mr. Murphy, I know you know. Who do you think discovered the Gulf Stream? Now listen, I'll give you a really big tip. His name is on the Declaration of Independence. Okay, his name is on the Declaration of Independence. Short little man, liked to play with kites. There's another huge tip. His name was Benjamin Franklin. Those of you that got it, awesome job. You were probably in school on Monday and Tuesday, because I think I told you guys. I did not tell you guys that did not come to school, and even the ones in here. Ben Franklin is the one that discovered the Gulf Stream, and I'm going to try to explain to you how he discovered it, okay? So y'all sit back and listen. Well, as you can see, well, that's not a good picture. Hold on. As you can see from this picture right here, and I'm going to try to point this stuff out to you. This is Florida. Okay, there's Cuba. We're about right there. So we're going to be the black dot, okay? Ben Franklin, he generally lived in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is about right around in there, I'd say. Okay, that's about where Pennsylvania is. Well, Europe is right over here. Now, Ben Franklin was an unbelievable person. He invented a lot of things. He made all kinds of cool stuff. Very smart. Obviously, his name's on the Declaration of Independence, so he's no dummy. But Ben Franklin was a great talker. He's like Mr. Murphy. He could sit down, he could talk to anybody, and he could sell popsicle. I mean, he could sell ice to Eskimos, man. Then obviously Eskimos don't need ice because they're surrounded by it. He could talk to anybody. Well, he used to go to Europe all the time to try to kind of like grease the wheels to try to get our Constitution moving. He was trying to be friends with the Europeans and the British and try to have a good working relationship with them because a lot of those people were in America. So they were trying to get these relations back and forth, and he was sailing across the Atlantic, and he felt this really unbelievable warm water. And he was like, why do I feel warm water? I am almost in 60 degrees latitude. The water should be freezing cold. So he just felt this warm bath water, and he was like, something strange is going on. So Ben Franklin went and he started following the hot water. And what he did is he took his ship all the way down the East Coast, and he plotted the Gulf Stream out. Basically, he told sailors where it was. He wrote it all down. He was like, this is where this water is. I can't understand where it's coming from. Well, after many years, he finally discovered that it came from the Gulf of Mexico. It was a current, and you can see, I don't know if you can see this at home, it's this really, really dark red, violet line. And that is the hot stuff. And you can see, those of you that play like those video games with thermal imaging on it, this is a thermal image of water, okay? And this is going to be the super hot water. This is where all our hurricanes form. This is where all the hurricanes get all their energy. And then you can tell the yellow gets a little cooler, the green's a little cooler, and the blue up there is going to be really frigid water. So he should have been going through frigid water, but it was really warm. And that's what taught him that the Gulf Stream was there. Now, that's going to be on the test tomorrow, so you shouldn't forget that. But let's talk about what it does to us. Let me see. Who wants to answer a question? Raise your hand at home. Haley? I see you, girl. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. When I was a little boy, my mom would draw me a hot bath. You know, when I was a kid, I would walk in there. I was like, God, it's really hot in here, Mom. Why is this bathroom so hot? And she was like, well, I ran you a hot bath. And, you know, the tub's full of warm water. What do you think that warm water did to the room, Haley? What do you think it did to it?
It made the room really like steamy and hot.
Yeah, it made it steamy and hot. Perfect. You got a big, huge tub of water that's super hot. Well, not super hot. I mean, it wasn't that hot. It was warm. And it changed the temperature of the bathroom. Well, if we've got this humongous river, and this is kind of like a river in the ocean. You know, I kind of tried to talk to you about the jet stream as a river of air in the atmosphere. I mean, there's rivers of water, but I'm trying to equate it to a river. It's a river of air. Well, this is kind of like its own separate river inside the ocean. And it's been flowing like this since the beginning of time, as far as we know. We've got this really hot water right off of our coast. What do you think it does to our town? What do you think it does to our cities right beside it? Do you think it makes it colder, or does it make it hotter?
Hotter.
It makes it much hotter. And listen, if we didn't have the Gulf Stream right there, our winters would be much, much colder. We'd probably get a lot more snow, and our summers would be a lot cooler.
Not very cool.
A lot cooler. I'm talking like probably like Europe's. You know, Europe has like 70, 75 degree summers, really nice days. If we didn't have that really super hot, rich water beside us, we wouldn't be nearly as hot. So it changes our climate. And our climate is our overall weather conditions for the whole year. And we're going to talk about that word next week. But the Gulf Stream is something that a lot of people go to, and they go out there and they go fishing. And they can catch things like tuna and stuff like that because they like warm water. So the one thing I want you to really remember about the Gulf Stream is that it changes our weather as well. It makes us much, much warmer because it's kind of like having a huge bathtub of water right beside your city. It's just going to make everything a little bit steamier and hotter. And this word you're going to hear next week as well, it makes it more humid. It makes more water vapor start to arrive, and that makes things a lot hotter. So it's kind of a mess, actually. But for people that love warm weather, they love having the Gulf Stream there. For people that don't like warm weather, they prefer it to probably go away. The people that like warm weather, they're lucky because guess what? It's not going anywhere. It's been flowing for years and years and it's not going to go anywhere. All right? So listen, that's all I've got today. I'm going to pop this video on to the Google form and you guys can answer the questions. You should be good to go. Okay? I'm just doing the basics. The basics. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anybody got any questions for me? Not everybody at once now. All right. I hope you guys have a good day. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay? Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
All right. Anybody need to go to the bathroom or get water? Nobody? Okay.